Hello and welcome to Mostly Minnesota Music Podcast Edition. I'm Ann Tracy. I'm here with my co-host,
Heather Baker.
Yeah, and we're in for a special treat. We're going to jump right into some live music. We've got Muskellunge and Charlie Parr. So I'm just going to let you guys take it away. All right, ready? Glare on the windshield, the color of hay. Yeah, I look out your jacket, smile stretch, trouble manifest like seeds growing. You ask for it. You ask for it. You ask but it's clear as clay. I know that they love you for your empty face. Trouble manifest like seeds rain. You ask me, you ask me, you ask me, I wanted to lie down, wash the day from my face. I want it easy. I wanted it easy. Clear as clay. You ask for
Ask for
We didn't freeze up, did we? Oh, good. I was so afraid. I'm like, oh, I hope we don't lose our signal in the middle of the song.
There was a moment of added atmospheric broadband, but it sounded great. It sounded great.
All right, let's one more tune. We'll do the other one.
Awesome.
That was John on the drums a little bit. Okay, so that was our song that Charlie's playing on, and now we reinterpreted one of Charlie's songs as a Muskellunge song for the Whitefish from his album. Okay. So drum machine.
And across the lake in my little boat, surface of glass, bound for natural trees, riding wooden steps. It's difficult to see the waiting light. Northland's October evening. Concentrate on the pool of water that travels around the star. And the smoke for electric on needles like heaven. Feels like it's taken forever reach the farthest shore. The sea's grabbing me on float like a blue cotton trees. Concentrate on the dark tree line. Concentrate on the sinking hear voices from above me, the deepest part of the night. I listen for the voice of my father, in the midst of the night. There's a fire on top of the staircase, hidden amongst the trees. Concentrate on the face of my father. Concentrate on the last shit I. There's an Asian bishop bird up down, mostly sunken light. Steps on the common. Right to my train, clean the branches, keep them slipping. Concentrate on never falling. Concentrate on never climbing back down.
Yay, did it cut out or were we okay?
It was good.
Yay, yay, yay.
It was good. It feels a little bit like a sneak peek because there are moments of brought to you by broadband. but it sounds, I didn't know that this is what I needed on my Friday. It put me in such a better mood than I was earlier today.
All right, well, put me in a good mood too. And we were just talking about how great you guys are. Like you just have such a good vibe, and you're so enthusiastic about local music, and just it makes me happy just to, I don't know, connect with you guys too. So
Thank you.
over here, John? Yeah. John's gonna come over now.
All right, great. So I'm gonna do we've got Reba, and we're looking at Charlie Parr in the back. We've got John will soon be joining, so folks know who we're, yeah. I think the question, oh, hey, John. The question of the day is, how did you all get connected? And I think this is such an awesome project.
You know, I saw Charlie Parr had posted that he had a Muskellunge cassette he was listening to. And so I just said hi to him on Instagram, and I just researched a little more, and I saw he was doing Portal 3 too. And I thought that is just so, we ended up talking through some messages, you know, that's really brave. Like he does, because he does this one thing that he's so known for. And then Portal 3 is a drone. And I said, what do your fans think of it? You know, that's really brave to do something that you just really like doing that might not fit or might with other people. And I had talked to him about getting back into doing music again. And now we're working on new songs, and you know, are we stuck in that old Muskellunge sound, or, you know, we are moving forward. We're not going to be stuck in it. So, you know, I'm just interested in creative risk right now. And he inspired me in that. And then I said, well, could we do something together? And so kind of put a show together just with how can we do it? And the Hook and Ladder, Chris Mazzina is just so encouraging. And he said, yeah, let's put a night together. So it ended up being art and music, because since we're mixing elements as it was, it just seemed like let's bring more things in to kind of cross-pollinate, you know?
That's great. And so we'll say right now that the show is coming up on March 11th at the Hook and Ladder. And it's going to be Muskellunge, Portal 3, and the Benevolence.
Oh.
That's
and some short films by Chris Mars and sets. We have a guy doing visual art kind of live show. He has these old kind of TV monitors that he does light shows, and those will be on the stage, and he kind of does an interactive thing while we're playing. So it'll be very immersive, you know. We're doing a couple things for kind of service element. We're doing some fundraising for Mud Engine, which Chris and Sally Mars are part of, and socks, and people getting socks for the shelterless if they want, and a little raffle for people doing that. I mean, it's just kind of a well-rounded community aspect event of art and music, and it should be fun.
I love everything about this, because, you know, nowadays when everything is what's different of you, or all this chaos, this brings such a loving collaboration and builds community stronger. And like you said, has the arts and the light shows and the different music, and Portal 3 like kind of just creates all the goodness even wider and bigger.
Yeah, that's making wisecracks. I don't know if you can hear them.
Sorry.
no,
No, I can't.
I said all my words now.
Oh, gosh,
Use them
and
all.
you're done.
Hi.
He was saying he said loving was stretching it because, you know, he barely knows Charlie, but Charlie, do you want to add anything?
Oh, I love these guys.
Great.
I love everything.
What made you decide to add all of the art in the community? I mean, what is the impetus? And I know you're doing some very interactive stuff that people can participate in a little bit too.
Wanted to be an event. It just kind of seemed like, well, if we were, first of all, we're mixing two bands that kind of don't necessarily go together. So let's make it more of an evening that has to do with that, you know, has to do with different, could be clashing elements, but they're not. They're all going to work together, you know, with like this visual art and with, oh, we're doing a community art project too.
Yeah.
With the,
That's what I want to hear about. Yeah.
yeah, they're making their old flag into a pillow, because the original idea too was Jim from Benevolence is an illustrator, and so I was trying to think, how could we do something, and it didn't end up working out, but we started this idea of doing an interactive art project as well. Just, I don't know, just having it feel like a creative night, you know.
I love the idea. I mean, I just think that's fantastic. And it is funny because I wouldn't have necessarily put Muskellunge and Charlie wouldn't have paired you guys together, but it's a little bit like peanut butter and chocolate. It's working.
Yeah, that's why it's interesting too, right? Yeah, he says Charlie gets to be the peanut butter.
Kind
We
of
have
the
a pretzel.
sticky glue.
John's the chocolate, I'll be the pretzel.
Ooh.
Anything some ice cream.
I see how this gets bigger now.
Bigger than it's smaller.
It's immersive, right? We're just building it. We're building it as it goes. And that's kind of what happened too, is I started talking with Chris Messina, and then the ideas just kept building. It got a little hard for me to manage because I thought great ideas. And then I realized later, oh, someone's got to manage all those ideas. So there was a couple moments of me freaking out, but it's gone really well otherwise.
Well, and I happen to know that you suddenly have more time for focusing on things
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah, I quit my job. I've had an awakening, really, you know, of, you know, how much time do you have left? I'm doing music. I'm inspired by, you know, how Charlie lived his life as an artist, and just doing music again and realizing, you know, what's important and how, you know, I'm exhausted at the end of the day at my job. I'm willing to work, but what if I give my best time to my creativity? And so maybe I work evenings. I don't know what that's going to look like, and it was so sudden that I just suddenly felt it in my gut that I couldn't go in anymore. I've also been helping out with my parents. So my mom's disabled, and so when they stay with me, I need the mornings off and things that really help them out. And so that also was the impetus for it. And
That's good. And as you said, Reba, Charlie's been living life of full-time musician for a while. Did you have any words of wisdom for Reba or others?
I haven't had a job in 21 years. I don't remember what it's like to work. I fully support her decision.
I feel like it allows you to be more in the moment and catch those things that make you or get your creative attention and stuff, because you're not busy or thinking about, oh, I got to prepare this for work or that. You're more, like you said, awakened.
yeah, yep.
I find that, like, especially with writing, you know, it feels really to me like, you know, stuff comes to you, and if you're there to receive it, you can do something with it. And if you're not there, if you're not present for it, it'll go on to the next person and they'll get it. So you kind of have to be, you know, you have to be in that space, I think, a certain amount of time, or living in that space all the time if you want to. I mean, I do a lot of stuff that I feel is trying to capture those, you know, those ideas and those concepts that are floating around, even if I can't, you know, if I don't have the skills to do anything with them, that's one thing, but at least I was there to you know, to try to grab them when they showed up. Sounds weird.
No, that's where I'm at too, but because I have a lot of ideas now, I'm like really inspired to do. I want to read books. I want to do all sorts of things. So I'm willing to just make less money. I'm going to work. I'm going to probably deliver groceries, but I need to do it I need to have time, like Charlie said, to run with these ideas right now. And there's really no time to waste anymore,
Well, I love the visual of it, almost like the muse. And if you're not there to invite the muse into your house, it's going on to the next one.
You know what they say, if you don't, it's like writing down your dreams. If you ignore them and don't write them down, you start forgetting them. It's like, and the same thing with songs or poems. Like if you don't, they're honoring you by giving it to you. And if you just be like, yeah, oh, maybe next time, you stop getting them, Anything to add, John?
Well, that sounds like a really vindictive news. If you're not here, that's all you get.
It's not coming back.
I don't know about that.
You bring up a good point.
The main element that we're not talking about. Coffee and walking really quickly.
John, are you carving out enough time since Reba is creating this space for all the good stuff coming your way that you're going to be part of? Are you ready? Are you buckled in?
Well, one of the things too is that he works nights, so we just started sharing a practice space again. So now I have a space to go to and play, and he's here during the day. So that was another reason, was that he's here. If I can have my mornings free, I can come down and work with him on stuff, and then he leaves around 4 or 5. So
Easy.
we can work on stuff more too then. So
Try to simplify it.
That's a good mix of time spent together and time spent, for in your own creativity. So I'd say there are times where you can feed off other people, and there are times where it's nice to just be in your own thoughts with the muse.
yes. Yeah, I like that.
I think we froze for there for a second,
Oh,
or
okay.
I did. The beauty of technology. It'll be interesting to see after March 11th if more connections like this are made with people who are attending.
Yeah, and I was talking, Chris was saying he thought I should do more shows called Invention Session and just see if I can mix up more stuff. I don't know. It's a lot of work, but Emily and I were just talking about like poetry reading show, like an art and poetry, and art, and music, and did we cut out?
I'm looking at Heather to see if I'm frozen or you guys were. I'm sorry, can we ask you to repeat what you were just saying a little bit?
You dropped after you said Chris asked you to do it again.
Oh yeah, he said maybe you'd want to do this again, and I thought, well, I don't know if I could, maybe something on a smaller scale. But Charlie and I were talking about like poetry readings and theater, and then have some music there, and just combining these elements, and especially trying some things. I think one of the ideas is trying something a little different, because people get stuck in ruts, and I think especially musicians get stuck in their little pocket of who they play with and where they play, and same thing with art, and then people attending that stuff too. They might like art and music, but they don't get exposed enough to both. They might not take the time to go do it. Actually, poetry would be cool to have at something too. So yeah, there might be more of these.
Well,
That's
I think
great.
everybody should take advantage of having, even though it's, coming back a little bit, but everybody has a little bit more playtime. Not everybody's just gigging and going where you are, but you have time to, like you said, maybe play with a few other people that you don't normally, or you haven't had a chance to.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think when it comes to audience, I think people are ready to be creative, and they're ready to be creative in a community when they feel safe. And I mean, COVID safe and safe in other ways too. So I think this may give birth to people come up and say, I write some poetry. Can I be next? I think offering people that opportunity is amazing.
Yeah, that would be cool. Are you wearing a Portal 3 shirt?
I'm representing.
Yeah. You want to talk about? No. I feel like I'm just talking.
You're doing great. No, I don't know. Yeah, we're excited to be part of this. We're going to do one piece of this show that's based on a song that I wrote a long time ago called 1890. And that's kind of, we start out with pictures or fragments or something to concentrate on, and then drift into improvisation land from there. So that's what we're going to start with. But we're excited about it. We're going to bring more T-shirts like that to sell to the people.
Good.
Yeah, and we have 4 new songs, so we're excited about that. And then 2 that we're playing with Charlie. So yeah, all of this should be really.
So if you keep last show, it's not going to be the same show this time. Okay.
That's good. That's good. Now the new songs has this experience, this project had an impact on the other songs that you're going to play at, the newer songs?
Yeah, that first one we just played is one that I've had, but it's not a full band song. And listening to Charlie stuff, and I went and watched a couple of his shows at the Drift Club and hung out with you with Ken.
Yep.
Yeah, and I thought, God, that's so brave to be on a kind of a stage on a bunch of noise behind you, And then when we were just saying how we
Bunch of noise.
Sorry, John. He's Johnson. You know what I mean. A bunch of very beautiful, talented noise behind you, and I forgot what I'm saying, but
There will be no show next Friday.
no.
there may be a boxing ring in the back. That'd be a nice addition too.
Well, I just thought, so maybe I could do something quiet, just as a way to play together. And so that's, kind of, it's scary to do this quiet song that's just me and Charlie and a little bit of drums. But definitely, I got inspired by working with them and watching them. So yeah.
I have to say, listening to your voices together, I thought, oh, I can't wait to see this live, because it sounded great. And as I said, we're not public radio here yet. The quality is a little, but the voices sound so amazing together.
Well, that's what you get too when you mix unlikely elements too. It's even like his guitar playing when we first sat down to play with them, and it's so different than the rock and roll, pop song style, and it's really cool. How you start to blend stuff, and yeah, it takes you out of your little comfortable spots, whether it be creative or in life, so.
It's good. It's a lesson to be learned for everybody, whether we're talking about music or art or just generally in life. I think we've had a moment to pause and, to be brave. You said for you guys to do this project. And again, Portal 3 is such a departure from a lot of the stuff that you've done before, Charlie Parr, that I just, and I love both. It's.
Yeah. I don't know. I was, I never played anything but folk music. When I was starting to, I learned how to play the guitar because I wanted to play folk music. I didn't ever want to play rock and roll. I never got invited to play rock and roll, but I went to see it all the time. I saw Muskellunge, at the Uptown Bar, more than a few times. I saw Mr. Doing the Replacements and all that. I moved to Minneapolis. I dropped out of high school in 1981 so I could move to Minneapolis and see rock and roll, and then ended up, trying to be a folkie with, my heroes, Spider John Kern and Dave Ray, Tony Glover, you know, but the love of that other music has always been there for me. You know, I've never let it go. I listen to a lot of music all the time, and you know, getting into playing drone music felt natural to me because I think there's a natural drone within most music you listen to, especially in folk music, especially music that comes out of, you know, kind of the Appalachian banjo tradition, because that music is drone music, you know, it really is modal music, and so shifting into drone world didn't feel like a big leap to me. It felt kind of like a relief because I didn't have to remember lyrics, and this is fun to play. I mean, this is weird. It's, you know, I don't really have an electric guitar. It's fun to mess around. Probably most electric guitar players would like to punch me, but it's fun to play it.
Well, it's fun to hear. And one of my favorite events did not happen this year, Drone Not Drones. So I'm hoping that you'll play it enough for me to get a little hit of methadone for my missing Drone Not Drones. Cause I
Hope that gets back to the world again.
it is. What's funny when you listen to drone music and they're beyond 24 hours now. When the last time it was 28 or 36 or something, you do start to recognize how much drone is a part of most music, as you say. It's just, it's not a stretch, but still for all of you, a brave departure to do something so new, especially when you've got a reputation for something else.
People have been kind to me about it. I have not, you know, I have had a lot of people that like the thing that I do have told me that it's not their bag of tea, but they haven't been mean about it. You know, no one's ever told me that it's stupid or that I'm wasting my time. People have been, you know, kind about it. It's, you know, I don't know. I've had a good experience with music so far, so I'm grateful for that.
Well, and I think it's fair if it's not someone's cup of tea. You know, you can dress up broccoli as much as you want. I'm not going to like it. You know, we all have different tastes. All have different tastes. Well, guys, this has been so much fun. This is maybe we'll do this every Friday. Every Friday where I've had a hectic day. It was so soothing to hear it. It just changed my mood entirely. So thank you so much. And we look forward to the show on March 11th at the Hook and Ladder with Muskellunge, Portal 3, and the Benevolence.
Yep. And some art. Yep.
And art and everything else. Yes. Yeah. I'm super excited to learn more about that.
Yay,
To experience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.